Hello, my name is Jordan Frechette. I reside at 12 Pleasant Street here in Enfield. I represent a group known as the Community Addiction Awareness Project, also known as CAAP, and we work closely with the Enfield Together Coalition. Our purpose is we're trying to bring awareness to the community of the problems that addictions have created. As I'm sure a lot of you are aware, heroin has become quite the epidemic in this area, and my group, we are all recovering addicts ourselves that have seen firsthand what happens when you get caught in this grip of addiction. All of us have managed to recover. So what we're trying to do is bring our stories to the table and teach people how to recover, show them what we did through our own personal experiences. I know for myself personally, one of the reasons that I stayed in active addiction for so long is because I didn't know how to get better. I didn't know how to get on the other side of it. And now that I do, with the group that we have put together here, I think it's important to get that out to the community, because I'm sure that there's other people like me that just don't know how to get on the other side of this. And I live a couple blocks away, and I can literally look out of my kitchen window and see the lifestyle every single day. And I have small children in the community, and as a parent, it's hard to see my daughter grow up in a community that I came up in, and to see how hard it's been hit with this epidemic that has been created due to heroin, other drugs, alcohol, things like that. So I know there's an item on the agenda as far as a regional opioid task force, and we just feel that our organization can be a great asset to that. As far as going places, talking to people. We've been to Enfield High, we've been to Asnuntuck. We're trying to get involved with the programs as far as New Directions, the Joshua Center, CHR, places like that, because those places address the problem, but they don't address it from a recovery side of things. People that have actually been through it and recovered, and this is how we did it. So I just wanted to bring it to the town's attention. Like I said, I'm sure you're all aware of the epidemic that we're facing here in this community as far as drugs and alcohol and addiction. And, our organization is just trying to bring that to light and let people know it is possible to recover. This is how we've done it, and, we're here to help. So thank you.
Thank you very much. Hey, Jordan.
Yes.
Is there? Do you want to give any contact information to the folks if they're watching on ETV or through the live stream?
Absolutely.
Just to say, if you have a contact name,
Sure.
number, website, anything like that.
Right now we're currently set up through Facebook. So if you go on Facebook and you search Community Addiction Awareness Project, our page comes up. Our alias is CAAP, CAAP. And if you search Community Addiction Awareness Project on Facebook, you can leave your comments, private message. There's, I think, 6 administrators, including myself, that if you message us, any one of us can get back to you and help you. So, thank you.
All right. Thank you, Jordan.
Hi, I'm Kara Hagan. I live at 6 Foxcroft Road in Enfield. I am also a member of CAAP. And I just kind of wanted to snowball on what the other fellow CAAP members have already said. Forgive me, I'm a little nervous. I also have struggled with addiction. I got sober when I was 19 years old, and I was sober for 10 years. And I ended up having a medical issue where I was given painkillers, and unfortunately, I didn't realize when they gave me those what it was going to do to my life. I ended up relapsing, and when the pain medication got cut off, unfortunately, I was already addicted, and I didn't even realize it, and it turned into a heroin problem. For 2 years, I used heroin. I lost my children. I lost my home, my vehicles. The only thing I didn't lose was my life. And like Lenny had said, I entered the 12-step program, and it saved my life. And I now have my kids back, and my whole family is back together, and it's amazing. I have now been sober again for almost 10 months, and I too have, my daughter is in JFK, and I have noticed that the heroin problem, especially in Enfield, I don't even know, it's alarming. It's very scary that these children are taking this medication. A lot of them start with the painkillers, but I have heard from friends that their 12-year-olds are sniffing heroin in JFK, and that is very alarming to me because my daughter goes there. And like Lenny said, these kids don't realize that once you do it, it's done. You are physically hooked and you cannot stop. And I think there's a big need for there to be a lot more awareness to this problem. It's not just pot anymore. That's pretty much like smoking a cigarette nowadays, unfortunately. But this drug, if you do it once, it's like playing Russian roulette. You might not ever get a chance to recover, because I've lost people to this disease. And I just wanted to, again, bring it to the attention, and that it's a very serious problem here in Enfield. I mean, I could walk out just out of town hall and it's everywhere. I mean, I could go down the street and it's there. And I think a lot of people are still kind of like, oh God, it's heroin. They don't really want to address it because there's a stigma about it, I still feel. And it would be amazing if we could have more resources available for people to know that there are rooms of recovery that they can go and get help, because I know it saved my life. It gave me back my life, my children. I'm a mother again. I'm a wife again, a daughter, a friend. And hopefully I can be a helpful member of the community and maybe hopefully help save some lives. So, thank you.
Great. Thank you, Carrie. Yes, sir.
How you doing? My name is Richard Walsh. I'm also a member of CAAP.
Richard, can you just give your address, please?
12 Pleasant Street.
Thank you.
I kind of experienced it a little different than what my other members have spoke about. Heroin destroys anything that is involved near it, families, lives, everything. I personally had to go to prison several times in order to get clean. But in the midst of that, I lost children. I'm just gaining back children after years, 13 years of not seeing them. It's just terrible, man. It's just, there's no way to, I just want to be able to make the awareness to younger kids, like how serious it is. And that's like my goal, to be able to get into the schools more, even to the parents, to be able to show them what to look for. That's what I think, that's the important part, because kids are going to be kids and people experiment. That's just life, so, but I just don't want to see nobody go through what I went through. It was crazy. It's crazy. But so that's why I'm in this position I'm in now. And I don't know, I just trying to get my story out there to be able to have, hopefully, what I had to say or what I maybe would touch somebody and be able to, they can learn from it, So that's about it, really.
Great. Thank you, Richard. Public, yes, ma'am.
Hello, my name is Sophia Arell. I almost forgot my last name. And I live at 24.5 Summer Street here in Enfield, and I've been a resident my whole life. I too am part of CAAP, Community Addiction Awareness Project, and I have been in recovery for 3.5 years. I have young kids too, and my oldest daughter goes to JFK, and for me, JFK Middle School, that's where everything began. We did DARE in 6th grade, and I graduated, and it was all great, but then nothing else followed it. So I have a built-in forgetter, and I forgot everything I was taught. So, you handed me some pot or whatever, and then, I was off. And that went on for a really long time. I mean, like Lenny was saying, the 12-step programs around here are amazing, and they also have saved my life. And I am a mother today, but I am really concerned about the heroin epidemic, especially in this town. Just this past year, I lost a friend to an overdose, so it's really scary having young kids because addiction is a family disease. So the chances of my children getting it are high. But if we have some education, some awareness, anything for the parents, for the kids, I think it's really, really important. And also to spread awareness that there is a solution, because I didn't know that there was a way out. You know, my boyfriend at the time got sober first, and that's how I found out about the 12-step program. But before that, I just thought that that's how I was going to live my life. I didn't know. So I feel like there needs to be more awareness about recovery and that there is a solution to this problem. So that's it. Thank you.
Thank you, Sophia. Yes, ma'am.
Hi, my name is Kathleen Schleyer, and I currently reside at 249 Babs Road in West Suffield, Connecticut. So I apologize, I'm not an Enfield resident.
It's quite all right.
Okay.
You're with CAAP, right?
Yes, I'm with CAAP, and I'm just going to do a brief statement because I think that my fellow members have done a great job explaining our purpose. I think if we can look to other towns, in particular Gloucester, Massachusetts, we can see that there are things that the community can do to help people with this particular epidemic that are a little bit more helpful than just throwing them in jail. Okay. I think that that's one thing that we can look at. So perhaps working with our police department can be one area of opportunity. Another area is the education. And it doesn't necessarily have to be education strictly around recovery, right? But there needs to be more education done in school. I don't have personal experience with heroin. I've never tried the drug myself, but I have seen many, many people die from it, and close people around me. There are words that are used that I was never aware of until probably the past 2 years. Words such as fentanyl, okay? There are words and things such as the Good Samaritan law, okay? I don't think children are aware of that law, okay? So if they do try a certain drug like heroin and something happens, they're afraid to call the police because they're afraid they're gonna get in trouble. They don't know that if they call the police that they're not gonna get arrested if there's paraphernalia in the house. These are things that are not being talked about. In addition, I was listening to the radio probably a few weeks ago, and they were talking about how there was 27 deaths in the Western Mass area between a Thursday and a Monday period because a shipment of heroin had come up here. We're not talking about these things, and I think it's important. So whatever we can do, to help you in the community, bring awareness, we're here for that. That's all.
Great. Thank you very much. We'll move on to Counselor Communications. Counselor Arnone.
Yeah, I want to thank CAAP for coming here today. I know it took incredible courage to come before the cameras and the citizens of Enfield and talk about your stories. What you see today, what we'll be voting on tonight, which is the Narcotics Task Force, is the top of the pyramid. We are very aware of the bottom of the pyramid, which is education, addiction services. We have a committee. We're starting a committee now. I was hoping that we could include one of your members on that committee. So it's only a small portion of it. Our police chief and the whole PD department is well aware of the, you could keep taking out middle and low-level drug dealers all day long as they have someone to sell it to. And until we stop the addiction on the bottom, it'll never get any better. So we hope to have that whole holistic attitude along with this program and with our social services, and Colleen Sullivan out there, which is our prevention coordinator. She'll help coordinate all these efforts through young children to adults. So again, thank you for coming. We're listening and we're trying to do it right. Thank you.
Thank you, Tom. Joey?
Yeah, I first want to start off with thank you, CAAP. It took a lot of courage to come out here because especially heroin really has a bad stigmatism. And it doesn't matter how good of a family you come from, what religion, race, creed, it attacks everybody. And everybody in this room happens to know someone that had an encounter with it. And it's an awful, terrible addiction. And I really give you guys credit for sticking your neck out. And not only that, but just your face, because a lot of people don't want to be recognized because of the stigmatism. And it takes a lot of courage to come up in front of this dais and put your life on the line, or I shouldn't say your life on the line, but your history on the line, and stick up for a cause that you feel real strong on. So thank you very much.
Thank you, Joey. Greg?
I just wanted to say to folks from CAAP here, thanks for coming by. I think you spoke with passion, and what you're doing is a great help. Having family members and actually having children who are recovering from addictions. I have one, which I know you know, that basically when she goes to the doctor and for something, they want to give her pain medicine, she has to tell them I cannot have anything narcotic. And so, and I'm very proud for a number of years dealing with that, so being able to overcome that. So what you're doing is great. And I know what Tom has said is obviously true, is that we're covering it from a law enforcement standpoint, trying to stop the supply, but obviously it's education, social services, it's helping, and really at the same time is not condemning, we're trying to help. And I like what you said about the children, who they can come and not worry if they have some paraphernalia, that if they're in trouble, you call somebody. And of course, with the fentanyl and stuff that's being cut into this, obviously deaths are happening more often than not. So, but I appreciate our community doing something, and all of us here I know are concerned too.
Red?
Yeah, I'd like to echo their sentiments, and probably have seen more of it than I really want to admit. And I know how tough it is for you to come here.
I echo everybody else. For the people from CAAP, thank you very much for coming up here. Great stories, inspiration, hopefully, to a lot of people. I do hope that you are used as a resource by the schools, by social services, and by the police department. I really think that would be a very good, a very good partnership if you can partner up with any of those people.
Representatives from CAAP, thank you very much for coming here this evening and giving us your story. Thank you for your commitment to help the recovery efforts of our community. We know heroin is a big problem out there, and you see 2 items on our agenda that may be the first public efforts on behalf of the town to address it. But with folks like Pam Brown and Jean Hoy from Social Services and Youth Services, they've been promoting this issue for quite some time. And Councilor Sakala had mentioned that she attended the Rachel's Challenge pancake breakfast, and you say, well, how is that related? 3-4 years ago, the community responded to an issue with youth and suicide. And out of that came a whole host of support from within the town. One of the support mechanisms in the school was the implementation of Rachel's Challenge, and it's changed the culture within our schools. And so that can be a related example of how the community then responds to a need and turns a negative into a very productive positive. And I think our community is up to it as well, and we're going to need your help. I know you've offered it. If you don't feel we're paying attention, come back here or give us a call or send us an email. But I think that you'll also feel that the community is going to get behind you as well. So thanks for sharing your stories. It hits home for a lot of us that have relatives or friends that have been addicted and did not get to the point of recovery. And so thank you. And then we have discussion, creation of regional opiate addiction prevention task force. So welcome.
Thank you.
Prevention, okay.
I'm Pam Brown, the Director of Social Services, and this is Colleen Sullivan, the new prevention coordinator, and you all know Jean Hoy, the Director of Youth Services. So we are here tonight because we would like to propose that Enfield initiate a regional opioid addiction prevention task force. As you've heard tonight, heroin and opioid addiction is a crisis in our community. Enfield has seen a significant increase in the opioid addiction and unintended deaths as a result. Connecticut has seen an increase in overdose deaths from 355 deaths in 2012 to a projected 679 in 2015. And a comprehensive community response is critical to address this crisis. We would propose that we invite neighboring communities, Suffield, Somers, East Windsor, Windsor Locks, and Windsor, so that we can really be very strong. A lot of the what we need to address cannot be addressed just on a local level. We would include community partners such as the State Police Drug Task Force, local police departments, local EMSs, local social services departments, the local public schools, local probation office representatives, North Central Regional Health Department, the District Attorney's Office, local Sheriff's Office, Asnuntuck Community College, Community Health Resources, local medical providers, local pharmacists, St. Francis Care, Hartford Hospital, Rushford Hospital, Johnson Memorial Hospital, Mary Lou Strom Community Health Center, New Directions, Enfield Together Coalition, local prevention councils like the one you saw tonight, Healthy Enfield, DEMIS, Veteran Services, and grassroots recovery communities and faith communities, and any other groups that would like to join us. So that's essentially Colleen would be willing to be the coordinator, and does feel that she has the capacity under the state and federal grants that Youth Services has secured for the town. And so eventually we may need additional resources, but we're hoping with all of those community partners at the table that we would be able to secure other grants to be able to maintain it. This is going to be a long struggle and a lot of hard work, but we feel like this is the time that the community needs to pull together to address the problems. So Colleen or Jean, would you like to add to say what the work would be?
So like Pam had said, I'm the prevention coordinator of the Enfield Together Coalition. We don't look just at opiates or prescription medications or even heroin. We do look at the whole picture as substance use. So we do look at alcohol, marijuana, and other substances that our youth are using. The grant does currently work on numbers of youth, how it impacts our youth, how to prevent our youth from using any type of substance. But as we see, heroin and other opiate addictions is shattering our country. So we do need to respond. We do need to come up with a comprehensive plan on how our town is going to respond. And we do have a pretty well-rounded plan. The Enfield Together Coalition has already been doing a lot of initiatives around prescription drugs. We do have the prescription drug drop box that's in the Enfield Police Department. We have RAP on the bus. So we have already started with this and prevention efforts, but we would like to take it quite a few steps further and regionalize and really discover how we can prevent these deaths from occurring.
Thank you for considering the adoption of the task force so that we really can take a broader perspective in addressing the issue in our community. I really value that we look at addressing the problem from multi-sector perspective so that we have everyone at the table, from prevention to helping those heal and recover from addiction. And by sort of including all these different partners who have all these resources, that we can pull together to really create this comprehensive plan. We've been doing a lot of research on best practices from the White House, the Office of Drug Control Policy. We'll be making sure that we stay very current on what's being recommended so that the plan that we ultimately develop and lead our task force to do will really support funding, but it'll also support best practices from a federal perspective. So thank you.
Great. Now, Lee, for tonight, we're just looking for a consensus to move forward, correct?
That is correct. We did not feel that council needed to pass a resolution on this. A consensus would be fine for us to move forward.
Okay. Comments? Tom?
Yeah, just, I think you listed everyone that needed to be a partner in this, and I look forward to it, working with the Enfield Together Coalition, be a part of it for many years myself. So thank you for your effort, and be looking forward to moving this along as quickly as possible.
Thank you, Tom. Anyone else? Consensus?
Yeah.
Yes?
Yeah, absolutely.
Very good. Thanks for pulling this together. As demonstrated earlier this evening, it's a big need, and once again, Enfield's going to be leading the charge, and you've done great work with the other task force that you've put together, so know that this will be successful as well. So good luck with it. Keep us surprised as you go along. Let us know how we can help.
Thank you.
Thank you so
All right.
much for your care.
And welcome.
Thank you, and welcome, Colleen.
Thank you.
Thank you.